Oh, I guess I forgot my code. They ain't cut me. Yes, they did. They must have cut me. Man. Already? Since year 2.
We're done. We're done. Now here we are. Right? Now here we are. And it take fucking Dark Side of the Ring? That's what's gonna take Ric Flair out? Fam, it was some crazy shit we saw in this. And I don't even know, honestly, I kind of hesitated on what I needed to say about this. Now we want to come and hop on Ric Flair and Scott Hall. Now, granted, the shit Scott Hall we heard and saw what happened with Scott Hall. He's just a fucked up individual. That's all I can really say. I don't know how Scott Hall is now, but based off of what people were saying back then about Scott Hall, it's yeah. And you're starting to see some wild shit happen. Some wild shit happen after this Dark Side of the Ring episode aired last night, which is the only reason why I even watched it, because I stopped entertaining Dark Side of the Ring a long time ago. Because all they do, I get why people watched it. I was a fan of this show. I can only be. I mean, it's. I don't know, man. To me, it makes sense that they're owned by Vice. That's all I can really say. That's all I can really say about it. Is it makes sense that Dark Side of the Ring is funded by Vice. You know, they're basically the Vlads of the professional wrestling business. It really does put us in a weird spot, because you're asking me as a fan, well, how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about the fact that, you know, this woman is basically saying that Ric Flair and Scott, say what you want about Tommy Dreamer, but I don't know. I don't get a bad vibe from Tommy Dreamer. Not saying that I get a bad vibe from other people, but just Tommy Dreamer seems like a genuine soul that doesn't let shit like that happen. In fact, there's receipts out there of Tommy Dreamer being a good human being in these exact same situations. Just like this. In exact situations just like this, there are receipts of Tommy Dreamer being the better man and actually preventing bad shit from happening. It's there. It doesn't take much to look it up. Tommy Dreamer gets suspended from Impact Wrestling. And there we see it. There we see it. NoDQ.com. They released it. Tommy Dreamer suspended indefinitely from Impact Wrestling. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a damn shame? They should be embarrassed of themselves for doing that. Impact Wrestling should be embarrassed. Period. Sean Ross Fapp says, Fightful has learned that Impact staff has informed today that Tommy Dreamer would not be at this weekend's tapings after his controversial comments on last night's Dark Side of the Ring episode. Wrestling Source reports that Tommy Dreamer has been suspended by Impact Wrestling. There is some... Look, I don't know what to say about this, man. Because we're put into a position of he said, she said, and then now it's brought out into the public. It was the infamous story of Flight 757. I didn't know too much about this, to be honest. And this came out. We saw the episode last night. It was some crazy shit. It was some very crazy shit that went down on that plane. But now we go to a much lighter subject with Ric Flair. Ric Flair in the main event, as he always is. Now, Ric Flair ended up on this list of people on this plane that apparently this woman felt like they went a little too far. Like, I legit think of all the things that Ric Flair did in the past, this is very minor. But from what we heard and what we've seen in this episode is everyone's defending Ric Flair, except for one person, Jim Ross.
How does it that Ric Flair evaded any sort of suspension or anything like that?
Good question. Lack of a better term, he was a made man. And he was such a high-level made man that he got a pass. Was it the right thing to do? I don't know. You're listening to it, folks. You decide. He got a pass.
It seems like Jim Ross has no idea what the fuck went on that plane while it was going on. And suddenly, after they land, and the repercussions, and I can't even say that word, and the consequences come about, then Jim Ross knows what and I love Jim Ross, don't get me wrong. I love Jim Ross. But at the end of the day, he knew what went on. I'm not victim shaming, but at the end of the day, the woman and her husband took the money. She clearly tells you they took the money. I'm not here to victim blame. I'm not. But at the end of the day, she took the money. The flight attendant took the money. That's what it was. Anyways, guys, this is Dark Side of the Ring. I want to know your thoughts on Tommy Dreamer and Ric Flair allegedly being canceled. This potentially has costed Ric Flair an AEW contract. But there's little small subtle hints of WWE does not know the damage that it did to the professional wrestling industry. All that stuff is now starting to come up. And I'm not just talking about the Dark Side of the Ring stuff. I'm talking about in terms of the mainstream. WWE always wanting to go Hollywood, right? WWE has always wanted to go Hollywood, always wanted to be attached with the stars and with mainstream media. Now it has been swallowed by mainstream media. Now WWE has thought they're in partnership with WWE with Hollywood all this time. No. They work for Hollywood now. WWE is owned by Hollywood now. Or should I say by Hollyweird now. AEW is no different. AEW's fate will be no different. And we've already seen it. We've already seen it in the pro wrestling community. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. I did not expect to go on a tangent about how WWE and Vince is washing his hands of this whole situation, by the way, guys. Vince McMahon is washing his hands of this entire, and I'm not just talking about the Dark Side of the Ring situation. I'm talking about all of it. Vince McMahon is going to retire and go off somewhere. He's going to just grow old and die. You know, he already is old. But I love RVD. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But he literally sat up on this platform and snitched. And didn't even snitch on shit that actually happened. He made it seem like it was in the worst way. Now, he even talked about, the stuff that they did way back in the day.
Way back in the day, it used to be called H-bombing, and it was halcyons. And I've seen so many guys dropping these H-bombs in the drinks in order to get the mark to pass out. They shave his head, whatever they do. Girls, local girls, were put out so the boys could have their way with them while they're out. I mean, this was... it was kind of normal in some of the places that I've been.
This dude literally sat up on his platform and pretty much said, hey, in the pro wrestling industry, they rape people. And I'm just like, nigga, what? Like, for real? But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Ric Flair and Tommy Dreamer, of all people, being canceled. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. It's your boy Corn. It's me, and I am OUT.